funny because people they don't even be on. My English class, I just started. I started that. It's an 8-week class, so been in class, but this is our 3rd week, I think, in class. And every week, it's only like about 4 cameras on, maybe, including mine and the teacher. I said about 5 total, including mine and the teacher. Like, you pull up the list of people in there, you see everybody's cameras off, everybody's buttons off. It must be doing okay.
All right, well, we got 3, Devin, Tamika, and Hunter, welcome. Yes. Okay, so while we're waiting for a couple more people to come or maybe come, there's Brandon. Questions about module 3 or 2 or 1 of Access, anybody? Just glad it's over?
I emailed you about 3. Well, yeah. Well, I know you got the email Saturday. I just emailed you about the very last one. Project A.
Uh-huh.
I think. Yeah, that's the only one that I didn't get to finish.
Okay. Okay.
And though.
Okay. Yeah, there's somebody else I need to look at. I can't remember if it was from your class or somebody else. Oh yeah, I think it was Miles. I think there was somebody else too. That's like, why can't I do good on Access? Well, part of the reason is you miss one question and you miss 11 points. So that has a lot to do with it. And so I will get through and look at those assignments that you guys have turned in and be able to adjust just scoring on that. But
I did good like on the first 2 questions when we got to the final assignment. Like I thought I was doing great, and my point, like the other one, the last one I got 60-something the first time, made the adjustment. All I did, I came back 65, then I did another adjustment. I'm like, this last time I hope I got everything right. 71.
yeah. So yeah, I can take a look at that, Tamika, and see if I can give you any pointers to get that finished up. Okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let me. Oh, Devin, I just read your chat message there. I did not give out the exam password yet. Wonder what?
It's another exam?
Yeah, I remember.
No, the PowerPoint exam, I mean, not the PowerPoint, the access exam. You guys didn't do the access exam yet, right?
No.
So you're not doing it tonight.
Oh.
You don't have to do it tonight. I'm gonna make it available tonight. I didn't want to stress you guys out anymore than getting all of the access stuff done. So I will make the access test available and I will get that password to you.
I thought you were saying we missed it. I'm not saying I don't remember that.
No. So you'll have it to finish. You'll have it to do sometime this week. Okay, before you come back next week. So what was I gonna, I was gonna share my screen here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is what I want to talk to you guys about right now. We are on April 12th. So we have, after today, we have 3 more class meetings is all. Okay. So this week we'll do module 1, next week module 2, and then on the 26th, module 3. We will come back on May 3rd. You will take your PowerPoint exam. Then we'll just go ahead and do that in class. I'm not going to go over the Outlook training and quiz stuff. That's something you can kind of do. It actually may be available already if you want to go ahead and spend some time. It's not a whole lot. You can see there's 25 and 15 tasks there. So there is no projects. There are no projects for you to do with the Outlook. The other thing that I will remind you of is this technology for success section. I know I gave that to you guys kind of over spring break, just to kind of get a head start on it, and you had a couple of weeks after. I think I've made that available till the end of the semester. I know some of you guys do not have all of that completed. Those are some kind of easy points to help bump your score up. I know sometimes it might be a little time consuming, but sometimes you can, get through that quickly and get to the questions and just answer the questions. But so what?
One of them, from that, I was like, I don't know how, but like, I guess on some of them, it kind of made sense, common sense. I got it right.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. If you have worked with computers a little bit, or if you have paid attention to when some other people talk about them, or you're just, like you said, it makes sense what they're named or what they do, it makes sense. And so sometimes it's easy to go through and do stuff like that. But
I remember my question.
yes.
It was one assignment that was due today. It was the do it yourself project, the 100-point assignment at the end. That one I didn't get to. I was gonna ask, could you possibly let me do that one? Please, if that's possible for you, if you allow that.
Okay, that doesn't sound familiar, so let me look at it and see. So
It's the project that you do after.
oh, the one that you do on your own. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right, what did I just do? Oh, okay. So any questions about our next 4 weeks? Because we're getting down here to the nitty gritty, guys. So I've got to get myself in gear and get some things updated grade wise. If any of you know that there's a particular, like I know Word module 3 was really bad for me. I think I did some things. You can always shoot me an email or a text and say, hey, I want you to look at this one for sure, because I got a 63 on it and I think I should have a lot more points than that. And that way I will make sure that I get to those maybe first. And that way, if there is a lot of difference, you kind of see that not affect your total grade so much. So don't feel bad about doing that if you're looking through your grades and stuff. So if you take this, I think it might be in your syllabus. I can't remember. It's been too long ago since I made it. But if you take your 3417, which is your total points for the class, and multiply it times 0.9, that will tell you what your total points need to be to earn an A in the class. Okay, so 0.8 will be a B, 0.7 will be a C, and so on. So that'll kind of give you an idea.
Multiply by what?
For an A, it'd be 0.9. For a B, 0.8, so 80%.
It's a multiply, so it's all right.
Yeah, this total points for this semester, the 3417. You multiply it by that. Whatever, like all I want to do is get a C out of this class, then see where you're at point wise. Because I get it. Sometimes that's what C's get degrees, right? C's get degrees. So, okay, I'm gonna close out of this Word module thingy. And thought I made an announcement for your access test, but maybe I didn't because I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, we'll go in here. Do you guys get this thing in your Cengage when it opens up? It drives me nuts. I don't know how to get rid of it. And it keeps
Sometimes
adding.
when you get to the first part, yeah.
And it keeps adding them. Like, I don't know how many there are now. So I just keep exiting out of them. But they're kind of annoying. All right, so you have 2 support files tonight. Oh, actually you have more. There's 6 support files. So you can download your start file and then each of those pictures that we're going to be using. In our presentation. Oh, hey, look, there's a download all button right up here. You can download all. Okay. If you want to, you can come down here and grab the expected file name and copy that. And then when we open that up, we can save it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Which one we use the start file for the,
Yes, we're going to use the start file. Okay. The password for access test is runner. So I will just make a new announcement and put that in there. Because otherwise I'll forget to do it. Okay, so I need to get out of this. All right, so you'll still need to do that enable editing once we get into the PowerPoint screen. All right, so this window or this beginning window of PowerPoint is very similar to all the other ones. You still have your quick access toolbar, your tabs, your ribbons that you can go between. one of the main differences is that you have your screen split up into the little, well, kind of thumbnails that you see, the miniature slides. And then this larger section over here where it says click to add title is your workspace. You do have the status bar down at the bottom. Sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time. Oh, good, great. Why can't it sign me in? I hate. I must not have my mouse with me. Okay. I know I did not change my password, and I just used my password to get into this computer. So why is it not letting me in on this computer? I don't know. All right, well, the heck with that then. I will just use this one, I guess. All right, so one thing I will point out to you about this status bar, because if you've used PowerPoint before, you probably know that there's a notes section at the bottom. And a lot of times, well, it used to show where you saw this click to notes, but right now it doesn't show. So they've put a little notes button down here on the status bar. And so when you click on that, it pops that open. Then you also have your view and your zoom over here, which as far as the window goes, it's pretty much the same except for your two different locations there. So, all right, let me get this down here where I can maybe work with it and see. I hate that when I do that. Okay, and that's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna have to do it this way. All right, so if you're a Google person, they call it slides in Google, I think. So you may have experienced something with that. But basically what we're doing is we're putting different slides that we create, like one on top of the other on top of the other. And it can be referred to as a presentation, a slideshow, or a deck. I think a deck is what it's called in some of the other applications. That's not Microsoft, the Microsoft suite. So you will see here on this page, these are the slides we're going to be creating, and there's lots of pictures in there, not very many words. When you first start up PowerPoint, if I come here and I do a blank presentation, that's kind of what you see right now. But if you want to, you have some of these that are already pre-set up that you can go through. They also have the different segments up here. So if you know you're wanting to do it for a business or infographics or charts or whatever, it will have some that are set up specifically for that. When you open those up, a lot of times they will have numerous slides already created that you can add data to and rearrange. So that just kind of, sometimes I always tell my students to maybe start with one of those with a color or a picture or what it looks like that you might enjoy. And then that way it's got some spruced upness to it. Because if you're like me, you wait till the very end to get it all done, and then you don't get time to make it look pretty. So you can choose something that maybe looks pretty to begin with, and you don't have to do a whole lot to it until you get all your content in there. I usually tell students, don't do any, don't spend all of your time looking at transitions and pictures and everything like that. Spend time getting your content the way you want it. And then whatever time you have remaining of that, make it look pretty. And you can apply a lot of those themes that we've done before, and it'll do those automatically. But it is kind of fun to play around with all of them, but you can spend a lot of time doing that. So that's why I tell you to wait until the end. Okay, so let me see here. The window, the title slide, the pointer, scroll bar. We've talked about the status bar, ribbons. Okay, the gallery, the dialog box launchers. We've talked about all of those different things in all of our other ones. So we really shouldn't need to go through all of that stuff again. By default, whenever you open a new PowerPoint slide, it always begins with the title slide, which is what we're looking at right now. Your title slide is going to have a spot for your title and a spot for your subtitle. That's how you know it is a title slide. And if you picked a theme, it would already have that selected for you, but we always can change those in your design tab, and we'll go in there and select a theme here in just a little bit. Your PowerPoint slides are always formatted in landscape orientation. So you just need to keep that in mind if you ever do want to print. Your stuff is always going to be landscape, but I would not suggest printing. The other thing that you need to kind of be aware of is each of these little rectangles, these are referred to as placeholders. You can move them around. Once it is selected, you can delete it if you don't need it. Okay. What was on that other page that I thought I skipped over? Nothing. Okay, so we're gonna choose a theme. We'll go to our design tab, and we're going to go to the themes. And this first part here is your gallery of all the different themes. So you click the drop down arrow there. You'll see several, but you also have the scroll bar that lets you go on down. Sometimes you will not find the theme that it's asking for. And I don't know why this works, but it does. I will just click on browse for themes. And then I hit cancel. And then when I come back up to look at my themes, I will have the rest of them that have filled in. So I don't know if you don't have a theme that you're supposed to have in Blackboard, there is a thing that says missing themes, but this has always worked for me. So don't stress if you can't find the exact theme. If any of you are using Mac, you probably won't have the same theme. So all right, we are going to choose which one. Parcel, which looks like
Then, you were top, right?
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parcel is deep.
Yes. All right, then we're gonna go to, well, they say to go back to your home ribbon. You can if you want to, or we'll get there eventually. Where it says click to add title, you'll notice that the font has changed. We have a black font here, our subtitle has a white font. That's part of the theme that we, the changes we made with that theme. So here we're gonna type in Shelly Pet, and this is a font that is all capitalized. So even if you're typing in lowercase, it's gonna show up as all capitalized. Shelly Pet Hospital. And Wellness Center, I'm guessing, yeah. Correcting a mistake, you'll have to locate your mistake, click there, and you can backspace and make changes as necessary. Paragraphs in PowerPoint are going to be each line. Every time you press the enter key, just like you did in any of our other applications, that's going to be making a new paragraph. So each row that we create in a slide is basically going to be a paragraph. And then when you tab or indent, that's going to another level. So you have, I think it's 8 levels that you can go down. So that is just where it is indented or lesser importance, like if you were to be doing an outline. So we're going to go into the subtitle. And then we will type quality care for pets and their families. Then they just tell you where the zoom is down here, which we've used that before. So You can zoom. I don't know that it tells you that you have to be at a specific zoom. The formatting of characters, this is a section on fonts and font styles. We've talked about that in every one of our applications, so we're gonna kind of skip through that. So we're gonna make some changes to our subtitle here. And your instruction tells you to do a triple click. If you're able to do that, you can triple click on that paragraph and it selects the entire paragraph. If you are not a triple click person, you can always just click and drag through that paragraph of information. And then while we have that selected, we can italicize it. And we're going to increase the font to 32. And again, you can do that various ways as you've learned throughout the semester. Now we're going to go to just the word quality. So you'll have to unselect what you had, and then you can double click to select the word quality. And you're going to change this to, the text is going to be green from the standard colors. So make sure you go down to the bottom section where you see the standard colors and choose the green, not the light green, the green.
Don't get the font color.
I'm sorry, what?
In the font color.
The font colors, yes. And this little A here, you'll click and find that dark green. Or regular green, I guess. That's where you'll find that. Okay, I forgot to do the save as, so we can go into file, or I'm sorry, go into file to go to the backstage view. And then go down to do save as. And you'll want to make sure that you navigate where you would like to save this to. So if you're trying to save to OneDrive.
That's why I get kind of confused there. Where would be the best place to save it in here? Would it be in the document?
No, because any place where you save it, you have to save it to OneDrive, or you have to save it to a stick drive. Or once you're done, you have to find it and email it to yourself so you have a copy of it. Because everything that is saved in downloads or documents or the desktop is gotten rid of when they shut the computers down at the end of the day, or probably when you log out of it. So that's why you need to make sure you have a place where you can save it to.
It's like not to the PC, but
Yeah, so let me see if I have, yeah, so should be SC_PPT_1_pets_ first last name and then .pptx. And I'm just gonna save my documents for right now because that'll work for me.
That was the expected file name you read off.
That's the expected file name, yeah. So it is SC_ and then PPT_1_ pets_ and your first and last name. Now we're going to add our second slide. So to add our second slide on our home ribbon, we'll come up to the slides, which is that second segment there of the home ribbon, where it says new slide. If you just click the new slide button, it automatically puts in the slide layout that it thinks you want. This is a title and content slide. And the way you can choose the specific layout that you want is you can click on the drop down arrow and choose the layout right here from this drop down menu. If you have already put it in like I did and you're like, oh, that's not the one I was supposed to have. I need to have the to content, then in the layout button here in the slides, you can change the layout of it to what it needs to be. But we are going to use the title and content. So just by clicking that new slide button, that's what you'll get. And that's typically what they put in there is that title and content. And so this is called a or what we're going to put in here is a bulleted list. Some of ours are going to be multi-leveled. Some of them are going to be, they're just all going to be on the same level. So we'll first add our title, which is our services. Then we'll click down here in the placeholder. And our first list item will be emergency care. And then when you press your enter key, you move down to the next row, and you'll notice that the bullet is the same as you have in the row you just typed. So they're both little circles. The line that we're on currently is kind of grayed out because we haven't typed anything yet. So it's not highlighted, but we are going to increase our list level, which this is kind of a little bit backwards to me because it's decreasing in size, it's getting smaller, but we want to increase the indent level. So you can press your tab key, you can use your increase list level button, and this is the decrease list level button. If you get increased and then you need to come back. So shift tab will bring it back to the main level, but we're going to type X-rays and laboratory testing. Laboratory testing. You will also notice that there's not punctuation a lot of times because these are just lists of information. They're not necessarily sentences. So once you've pressed the enter key, then we're going to use the button that was grayed out up here, which is the decrease list level. And this is where you can also use the shift tab to go back to the previous level. So you either use your decrease list level or your shift and tab. And then our next bulleted item, yeah. So our next bulleted item is going to be preventative care. Preventive care. And then we'll increase our list level for the next line, routine checkups and vaccinations. They have you type the word vaccinations incorrectly so that you can have it be spelled check. But if you want to type it properly, you can do that. It tells you that in the directions there. No, what's it supposed to be? Routine. Sorry. RUTINE. There we go. Routine checkups and vaccinations. And then you'll press your enter key And we're going to increase our list level one more time. So you can again press your tab key or use your increase list level button. This is 1/3. And I will tell you guys, hyphen spacing is very important. So if you're a hyphenated word, make sure you hyphenate it. One-third of dogs and cats are overweight. Did not know that, but now I know. Okay, we're gonna come back here and select the two words routine checkups. You do not want to get that space between the S and the and. If you do, you can hold your shift key down and use your left arrow to go back to the S. And the reason I point this out is it's not going to make a difference in the way it looks. It's going to make a difference in the way Sam grades it. Okay, so it only wants you to select the words, not the space after checkups. Now, the space between routine checkups is fine. We're going to bold this, so you can do Control B. You can right click and use that mini toolbar and bold, or come up here to the ribbon and make it bold. With these two words still selected, we are going to increase the font size to 18. Which is just one increase. And then we're going to go to the next indented row and select 1/3. And we're going to underline this.
Routine checkup at 18.
Routine checkups is 18 and bold.
Oh.
1/3 is just underlined.
What did you say about the space after the S?
So right here after the S, this space should not be bolded. And so whenever you select those two words, like I just did, you'll see the space after S tends to automatically get highlighted so that you bold it.
Right.
But if you hold your shift key down and use your left arrow key on your keyboard.
Gotcha. That'll control it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That helps a lot with scoring. And PowerPoint is the one where these type of things get counted off a lot, because it's not going to look any different if that space has bold applied to it. But yeah, it makes a difference in SAM. Your next section in your book talks about changing the layout, using the layout gallery, and there is a where you can do a custom one. I guess you just start with a blank one and then just add the pieces that you want. So we're going to add a new slide. So our third slide is going to be the comparison slide. So we'll click on this new slide drop down arrow and use the comparison. So now we see that we're in slide 3. I kind of made this little so you could see more on the work area. So now we have slide 3, and our title for slide 3 is going to be obedience classes. I think that's spelled wrong too. Yeah. So remember when they are highlighted with that red wavy underline, if you select them, this options button that pops out here, Oh, that did an automatic capitalization, so. But if you right click on it, you should get the correct spelling that pops up there, or you can wait and do the spell checker later on. All right, in our left heading where it says click to add, we're going to type basic and advanced skills. In the right heading, we are going to type, well, maybe that's a good place for you guys. Small group sizes. All right, so we're gonna go to basic and advanced skills. And here again, you can do that triple click, or you can click and drag through all of it to have it selected. And then in our font, right now, because of the design theme that we selected, our font is this Gill Sans MT, and we're going to change that to Cambria. So notice it starts back at the A's. You can just type in CAMB. It brings up Cambria. You can click on that, and now that is the font that is applied to that smaller heading there on the left. Okay, I think I missed some stuff there. Oh yeah, we have to do that to the right side too. Now when you click your drop down arrow, oh, you should see recently used. Does it show it up here? Yes. So if you go back up here to the recently used, you'll see the Cambria font there. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right, I guess I did those in reverse order. Oh well. So we're going to add some additional stuff to this slide later on. We can, if you're not on the home ribbon, you can go to the home ribbon. We're going to get a new slide, and this is going to be a title only slide. So we'll select that. And our title on this is going to be grooming facilities. Now, I will tell you, since this is an all capital font that we're using, if you are like me and most people nowadays that don't know that there is a shift key, you're just typing everything lowercase because it's changing them to uppercase automatically. So later on, if you choose a different theme and the theme has upper lowercase, then you may have to go back and change all of those letters that were not capitalized to capitalized when it's going to be an upper lowercase situation. So just letting you know a heads up on that. Okay, so we're gonna go and change our theme now. So we'll go to the design tab, and then we're gonna choose our more button here to see all of our themes. And they are going to have us choose integral. So this was P. I think they're in alphabetical order, but maybe not. Let me see. Oh, it's this. Is this it? Yeah. So this is the one we will select. And now you see the font has changed, but it looks like it's still an all uppercase font. So we did have the Cambria, and now it's changed to this TWCEN MT condensed. The what? The theme is called Integral. It looks like a blue and white checkered. The next section in your textbook talks about the different views of PowerPoint. So what we're looking at right now is the normal view, which basically has the three areas. The large area here in the middle is the slide pane. The thumbnails are over here in the what's called the slides tab. I always forget what this is called. This is the slides tab. And then you also have that notes pane down at the bottom, which I've covered up with my Zoom people. So you'll have that notes section down there. Now the notes section is typically hidden now, the way that they have it set up in this newer version. Also my Zoom, when I have it spread out like this, if you have your slide pane zoomed too much, you're only going to be able to see parts of it, and then you'll have to use the scroll bar to move from one place to another in your slide, the slide pane there. So those are your three areas of your normal view. If you're needing to go back and forth between slides, that is one of the benefits of having the slides view over here. You don't necessarily need to have it big enough where you can read what's on there, because it's more useful for just, oh, I need to go to the fourth slide and do something. Now I need to go to the second slide and do something. So it just lets you be able to click back and forth between them. You can also, if you do have it as the only thing open, you can kind of see it and check to make sure it makes sense in the order that you're putting it together at this point. Also, over here on your scroll bar, that's on the right side of the screen, you can grab a hold of that scroll box, and as you drag down, it tells you when it changes from one slide to another. This is another way you can move through the different slides that you have. All right, we're going to go in and put in our pictures now. We're going to go back to slide 1. So if you're not on slide 1, go ahead and click back to slide 1. And then to insert our pictures, we are going to use our insert tab, and then you'll see pictures. And this is going to let you find them on your computer. So I'm going to go to downloads. That's where mine should be. Right now, these are the different views that you have in your Windows. What did you guys call this last week?
The one that we just downloaded?
No, this screen right here. Navigate, no, not navigation. What's that called? File Explorer. File Explorer, okay. I don't ever call it that, I just know where to go, so. Okay, so if you don't want like the detail section, you can do large icons and that lets you see the pictures, which might be more helpful. Using this to make sure, so you don't have to see if it's support file 1, 2, 3, whatever. So it's your view in your,
I'll change the view.
yeah, how to change the view in that.
And then you went to.
I went to large icons. You can also do extra large for those of us that have more impairment of the vision. So we're going to choose our puppy love, the first one, the support number 1, and then we can insert that, and that's just going to pop it right there in the middle of our slide. Then we'll go over to slide 2, and we're going to put in our next picture, which is the animal group. So we'll do insert pictures. And this is our animal group right here. So we'll insert that on slide 2. We'll go over to slide 4. And this is where we're going to put the ear grooming picture in. We'll go back to slide 3. And because this is a slide layout that has the title and content placeholders, we are going to use our content placeholder icons to insert our pictures. So on our left-hand side, you have to insert a table, charts, a smart graphic, pictures, online pictures, or a video. So we're going to just choose pictures because we're not getting them from online. We're just using what we have downloaded. We're going to do the paw shake. And that will put it in on the left-hand side. And then we'll go into the right-hand side and use the picture icon. And we are going to choose okay, obedience class. Yes. Okay. You probably know about resizing stuff because we've done resizing of pictures back in module 3 of Word. So you're going to have the sizing handles and you can go from the corner to increase and decrease the size. If you go from one of the side handles, remember that it'll skew the picture. So sometimes you may want to do that and make it look a little different. So we're going to go through and resize some of these. And there's something else I was going to tell you about that, but I can't remember what it was now. So if it comes back to me. I don't know. Okay, must not have been too important. All right, so we're going to go back to slide 1. And oh, I don't know if this is it or not, but on this slide, because we put these in these content holders, notice how they did not come in the middle of the page. They came in and they are the size of the content placeholder. So if you know you want to limit the size to that and don't want to have to fix the size of them, you can always make sure you use a content placeholder for those. So I'll go back up here to slide number 1 and our puppy love. We're going to go to the upper right. Well, it doesn't really matter, but Drag the sizing handle diagonally toward the upper right corner of the slide until the upper right sizing handle is positioned approximately as shown. Now, this is one of them where I don't know why they can't just say, make it approximately 5.21 inches by 7.81. But if you want to guess, if you have it about that size, you can. The easiest way is to come here in the Picture Tools Format tab and set the height to 5.21. And then when you tab, it should, oh, it didn't. Why didn't it change? Okay, 7.81. Okay, so it evidently must not be set to be proportional because it let those change individually. So if they don't automatically change, typically, let me go in here and show you this dialog box launcher. If you have this lock aspect ratio on, it should change both of them at the same time. I don't know why it didn't here. Maybe because I clicked and drag it. I don't know, but it should make it about that. It should make, if you type in 5.21 here, should automatically adjust it here, but it didn't. So since we know both of them, we can just type them in and go from there. We'll go to slide 2. And we're going to make this 5.22 by 8.05.
I mean, move when it went down.
You did what now?
I said mine grew, but it looked like it shifted down a little bit.
It might have.
You know, 5.21, 7.82.
Yeah, it might have. It might have done that. So this one is 5.22 by 8.05.
Nobody else gonna come back to class.
What?
I said, I'm convinced nobody else gonna come back to class.
We'll go down to slide 4. We'll resize this picture to 5.49, 8.24.
.49, 8.24.
Click the little thing in the corner where it says sign. When you go in there and do it, it automatically does go. It automatically does like if you type in the first measurement, it automatically does it.
All right, so we have our picture on this last slide set to the size that we want it, but it's covering up our title, grooming facilities. So all right. I
All
don't,
of mine are covering up the letters still.
okay, yeah, we're gonna move them. We're gonna
Okay.
move them around a little bit. So I don't know if you guys can see in our textbook over here, this picture. There's a little dotted line right here through the middle of this picture that will show up when we get ready to move it here. Okay, and then there's also a dotted line across the bottom. And when we move our picture, we want to see both of those dotted lines. Those are called our smart guides that helped you get your pictures lined up, centered, or wherever they need to be. So when we have our picture with the sizing handles, we can click and drag And if you move it over towards the center, you'll see the center smart guide. And I'm not seeing the bottom one yet, but if I move it down, we want this all the way at the bottom, it looks like, because otherwise it's not going to, or it's still going to cover up the letters. So you should see the center one, and then when you get it down to the bottom of the slide, you'll see the horizontal one that comes across. So that lets you place your pictures where they need to be to hopefully get them counted correctly when you turn in your project. But you need your four-headed arrow to move your pictures. All right, we're going to go to slide 2. And we're going to drag the picture until the vertical smart guide is displayed on the right side of the picture, and the horizontal smart guide is on the right side of the picture. Okay, so I'll grab this. Oh, I keep moving this in my way. Okay, so I'm going to grab my picture, and I want the horizontal one to show up. And then as I move across, okay, there's my right one, and there's my horizontal one. Okay, so now that you see both of those, that's where we want to leave this picture. We'll go up to our first slide, and we're going to drag the picture upward and to the left. And we will see the smart guide at the top. And then the vertical displayed through the center of the picture. So this picture is moved to the very top of the slide, and then that guide will put it in the center of that picture, the vertical guide. No, it's down there, yeah. Okay. We're going to go to slide 2, and we're going to put in another picture. I think this is our last one. So we'll go to slide 2. We'll go to insert pictures. And then we want the paw prints. We'll insert that, and that pops it up there in the middle. Now we're going to rotate this picture. If you see here in the textbook, we're going to rotate it, and it's going to be down here at the very bottom underneath the picture of the dogs. So we'll click on the paw prints, and then you're going to rotate it using this circular arrow up here. So once you see that arrow icon, you'll click and you can rotate. And I'm sure there is, yeah. So we could also come up to our arrange section, and there is the rotate options that you have there. Rotate right, left. And if you are one of the people that's like, I need this to be exactly rotated 90 degrees, that is what you can use. If you're not, and you just getting close is okay, but I think it kind of locks it into that 90 at a certain point. So And then, let me see, I think we're gonna do something else with this. Move the picture so that the vertical smart guide is the vertical so that the vertical smart guide is the vertical smart guide is the what? Is displayed through the center of the picture. Okay, so our vertical one needs to be in the center of the picture. There it is. And the horizontal is along the bottom of the slide. So I'll move this down a little bit. So I have my vertical one in the middle and my horizontal one at the bottom of the slide. But why is mine not in the middle of the dogs? See, why is mine not lining up like it? Theirs in the textbook has the vertical one in the middle of the dogs.
I got mine to do that.
Up there. And then down. Okay, got it.
90 degrees left or right, right.
Oh, right. So now you might have noticed that our picture is covering up some of this kitten paw here. So what we're going to do is we are going to make this picture shorter. So we're going to non-proportionally adjust the picture. So we're going to drag the sizing handle down here in the center. And then it should show, it should be 1.14 tall. So I'll come up here. Okay, so mine did get to be, well, actually it's going to show as wide because it was originally flipped the other direction. So your width is going to be 1.14. So that you can see all of the cat. But if you notice, it does kind of squish up all those paws instead of them being wide. It kind of squishes them into what looks more like a bear paw to me versus a dog paw. But and then we're going to take the vertical or the edge here and we're going to drag it out until it hits the edge of that picture, which is actually past the dog quite a bit. If it were me, I would want to be lining it up
There's a line
with the dog.
by the edge of his toe.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's, yeah, it does do that. But if you look in the textbook, it has it all the way out here, which this picture has a lot of white space around it. So you see all the white space around here. And then it does kind of end where that little hamster is, unless they make us move that again. So this picture should be approximately 6.43 by 1 point. Yeah. 6.43 by 1.14. So that's about what it is. Close enough. We're going to learn how to move a slide in what's called our normal view. So this is our normal view, but I am going to make my slide tab here a little bit larger so we can see it. So as you're looking through here, you may decide, our grooming facilities probably should be up here underneath our services, and then our obedience class could be the last slide. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your slide number 4. When it is selected with the red outline, you can then click and drag it above the 3rd slide. And so now those have switched places. So that's how you can edit the order in normal view. Okay, they have you save it and then they have you close it and then they have you open it back up. And we're just going to go right on through there. Making changes to the slide text and content. If we find that we need to replace text, we can delete text, we can add to text, we can get rid of placeholders if we need to. So we're going to go to slide 3, which is this grooming facilities. Okay, so in our title slide, we're going to select the word facilities. And then you can just press your delete key to get rid of that word. And then we're going to type services. And then when you click outside, you've now changed the title to grooming services. Okay, so we've changed the theme. We put in a theme to begin with, and then we changed our theme. And now we're going to change our theme colors. So this is just like we've done in our other applications. So we'll go to our design tab. And in the variants section here, you have 4 variants that you could also choose from. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this more button here. And we're not going to choose one of those variants. We're going to go into the colors. And in the colors, we are going to choose yellow orange. So we'll find yellow orange. And now, let me undo that. I'm going to open this up so you can kind of see all of these at the same time. So if I redo that, you'll see that at least this screen changed from the blues to the golds and yellows. All right, now we're going to click down here where it says click to add notes, and I'm going to make this taller. Now I will just tell you right now, this is where you will probably get counted off for several points, because you are probably not going to type this 100% accurately. Okay. So we can't really see that very well. It's not letting me change the size of that. Interesting. Okay, so that makes it a little bit bigger. We offer quality dog and cat grooming services performed by our experienced pet stylists. Stylist T. Okay. We will pamper your pet with a bath, comma, nail trimming, comma, and ear cleaning, period. Services vary in price based on the animals apostrophe S, breed and size. So if you're following along with mine there, I can't make changes to this right now because I'm in the print preview version, but at least you can see it a little bit better. So you need animals apostrophe S, breed, and size is the last one with a period. So I changed the font size here, but you'll notice it doesn't change in my view here. But if I go into the print and I look at it, you can see that it does change it on the print version of it.
Is that the first note we had to type up on the slide?
Uh-huh.
And then just,
So then we'll go to slide 4. And we have a little bit shorter note to type on slide 4. Oops, I didn't make that bigger. Okay, so obedience training is fun and rewarding for your dog and for you. Our classes focus on essential commands and socialization. Okay, so we're almost done here. Get back. Our next section has us check spelling. I'm not going to go through that step. If you did not change those spelling errors when we first were typing them in, you may want to make sure you go ahead and do that. Document properties, they have you go into the document properties. I don't think we do anything. Yeah, we don't have to do anything for document properties, but that is in the backstage view here. So if you needed to make any changes to the properties, you could go into your advanced properties as well and see there. Changing views. We're in normal view right now where we see the slide and the thumbnails and the notes if we have notes. So this is called your normal view. You can change views by your status bar down here. The next view button over has 4 little rectangles or squares. That is your slide sorter view. So if you look at your slide sorter view, it's kind of your thumbnail tab or your slide tab, but it's laid out horizontally instead of vertically. But this is also where you can move your slides around and kind of see what it looks like when you've placed your slides in different order. So that's a slide sorter view. You also have the reading view. I don't like this view because it like breaks up your slide into 2 different pieces instead of just one. But anyway, to get back out of that view, you can always go to normal or your slide sorter view. And then the last view that you have here is your slideshow view. So when you go to that, you're actually doing your presentation. And this is just a good way to kind of practice and see what it looks like. So here's my first slide. I'm going to talk about all of this. And these are some of our services. And then our grooming services do this. And our obedience class does this. And then you're done and you come back to your actual presentation. So because of that, a lot of times you don't want to end your presentation and have it come back to this screen right here. So there's some things you can do by adding a blank slide, adding a black slide, that we'll look at some of those different things. Now I use the slideshow button down here to start us with our slideshow. You can also go to the view tab up here. Yeah, so you can go to your normal view, your reading view, all of those here and make your different changes. Brandon?
Is ours supposed to have that last one at the bottom left?
Well, right now the view that I'm in and the way that I have my screen selected is putting it down on that one. If you, yeah, if you have them in this order, then that's good. I have mine where it goes 3 and then 1 because of the size of my window right now. Okay, so I have you go into slide sorter. And then let's see, what is this having us do? Click the reading view. Oh, and then it just has you click through that. So if I go into my slide view, you can advance to the next slide by pressing the space bar, pressing the enter key, pressing the arrow key, You can go back to a previous slide by pushing the left arrow key. The backspace key will also take you back. You can also do a right click and choose from the next, the previous, the last viewed, all of those options there with the right click. And there's probably something else I'm forgetting as well. So I'll go ahead and click out of that. You can also, while you're viewing your slideshow, I want this. If you right click, you can do end show in the middle of your presentation as well. So that's just a little bit of how to get around. You just play around with it and kind of see how things go with that. To start a show from the beginning, you will want to use the start from beginning button on the quick access toolbar. If I'm in my slide sorter view here and I go to start my slideshow, it's going to start on whatever slide I had selected, which is kind of handy if you're working with that and making some tweaks to it, and then you want to see what it's going to look like in your presentation. So it's kind of helpful for that. But if you're wanting to see how your presentation goes, up here on your quick access toolbar, you have the start from beginning. And notice there's the F5 in parentheses there. That is on the top row of your keyboard where you have the F1, F2, F3. You can click that F4 button, or I'm sorry, the F5 button, and it will start from the beginning of your presentation, no matter what slide or what view you're on. That's what it will do. This just talks about moving manually, clicking with your little clicker that you have or your mouse or whatever. Saving and printing, you're just gonna save it with the file name you need. All right, by default, when you go to print, I've got to change this to full page. So by default, it is set to print all slides, and it is set to print full page slides. I do not know why they keep setting it to print full page slides, because this is what will print on one piece of paper. This is what will print on another piece of paper. So you have different layouts that you can use to print your presentation on. Some people will prefer 3 per page, where they can have lines to write on and make notes, or they give those out as handouts where the people they're doing a presentation for can take some notes. If you really just want to see all of your thumbnails, I put this at 9, so you can tell there would be 3 rows of 3 here. Does give you a little bit of space in there if you need to write some notes. But this is also a way where you see a lot of the, where you see the picture of the slide, and then you can make little notes to what you might want to remember to say on each one of them. You will notice that you have 4 sides horizontal, 6 horizontal, 9 horizontal, and vertical. So I have 9 vertical selected. Yeah, 9 horizontal. I'm sorry. I have 9 horizontal selected. So it goes slide 1, 2, 3 horizontally, and then 4, 5, 6. But if I were to change them to vertical, it would go slide 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it just kind of depends on how you want to mess with things if you are going to be doing printouts.
Last spring in my chemistry class, I tried to do that. It's like a whole lot of paper.
Yes. When I was up at Northwest Missouri State doing my graduate work, that's one thing that I tried to tell students when they came into the lab. I'm like, look, you don't want to print your entire presentation, because if you've worked with a bunch of people and you've got 30 slides, and it comes out in color too. And so back then, color was much more expensive than it is now. And so, yeah, so you want to make sure that it changes. You can print all slides, but you want to make sure you print how you want it. And I showed you the notes page earlier, where if you have notes, it will show them to you down there. Then this is nice. If you only have 5 or 6 pages, you might want to do this. You can type your notes up there. Obviously, you can make them whatever size you need them to be. And then you can just use that as a helpful guide as you're doing a presentation. Or if you don't want the picture, you can always just cut this out and put it on your 3x5 card or whatever that you can keep with you as you're doing your presentation. So
How did you get your notes to pop up on there?
you choose, sorry, I keep hitting the wrong one. In the what to print, if the full slides is what's selected of what to print, and then you can use your drop down. You can get the outline view too, which the outline view just gives you the words, no pictures. But the notes page there is what will pop up. Now, if you are on slide 1 or 2 where you don't have notes, you won't see any notes. So I had to go over to slide 3 before I could see my notes that I typed in. And I'm not sure why mine came in red, because my next ones came in black. So obviously you can change that. So I must have clicked something somewhere that was different. Okay, you can print in black and white if you want to. You just need to make sure you pick one of these options down here, or you're printing to a printer that doesn't have any color options, and then you'll get it in black and white. Okay, so that has a search box there. You can search through stuff. And then help. The tell me box will give you some help. I'm signing out. So, all right. Woohoo. That's a lot better than Access, isn't it, guys? We're done.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Well, I will, if you want to, you can save this again, go ahead and get it submitted. See how you did. Hopefully I didn't have too many mess ups to cause you to have some problems with your submissions. And let me stop sharing this. Okay. Okay. Questions from any of you, either here or at home, about your first PowerPoint section?
I like it.
Seems simpler than the Access.
Yes. Do you guys see why I like to end the semester with PowerPoint?
I do need to ask you some questions after class though.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I haven't been in to look at your assignments yet, but I can do that. But yeah. Does anybody else have anything?
Can I print this paper from my other class?
It says Shelley. Did I miss something? Oh.
Okay, if you don't have any questions and you guys want to go ahead and end your Zoom session on your end, feel free to do that. If you want to continue working and ask me questions as you go through this, you can. And I'll talk with Miles and anybody else that has questions, and we'll kind of get going from there. Next week, we'll go through PowerPoint 2. But this week you need to make sure you get your Access test taken and get these PowerPoint Module 1 assignments done
What's the due date for that Access?
before class next Tuesday. Okay?
It wound me out of 9:20, but I'll take that, man.
Okay, Miles, what you got?
No, I just wanted to, so there's an assignment that I guess it was saying that it wasn't up yet. I actually sent it to you. I sent the picture with it too. And then that one assignment that I've been having like trouble with sending to you as well. That
Okay.
I don't understand that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at that one yet, but I will. And I'll let you know what that one is about. And then let me look at my phone here because I can't.
I'm looking at my other stuff I had.
Okay, yeah, the one that you sent in that you got some stuff counted off on, I haven't had a chance to look at that one yet, but I will.
Okay.
And then actually that one is not supposed to be worth 100 points. It's only supposed to be worth 50, which will help a little bit, but I can take a look at that and see. And sometimes if you have your tables named incorrectly, or you have your query named incorrectly or something, it won't read them and won't grade them. And so you just get counted off for everything on it. So I'll take a look at that and see. And then,
I don't know if sometimes I don't know, maybe my computer acts weird because I use two different laptops. So I have the school one too that I'll use here and there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll act weird. Sometimes Wi-Fi here acts weird as well.
Yeah, mine too. I will take a look at the module 3 stuff because there was another person that had some issues getting it submitted. So I'll take a look at that and see. Maybe I had some setting wrong or something on that for you guys. But sometimes I set it for 11:59 a.m. instead of 11:59 p.m. So if you didn't get it turned in before noon, then you were out of luck today. But I'll take a look at that and see.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any questions, Miles.
Okay, I will.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tamika, did you have any questions?
I was just gonna say, I emailed you about that module 3 for the last access project.
Yes. Yeah. I'll go in and take a look at that and see if I messed something up, because it's very possible. But I can always extend it a little bit if I need to. It's frustrating if you get it done and then you can't submit it. So.
And that's all.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll get that looked at and then let me know if you have any other questions. Okay.